What is that background? How you change the background? I don't like that shit. Oh shit, I forgot. This was live for almost 3 minutes and I forgot. I'm so sorry. I was trying to fix my other live because I'm going live on TikTok as well. And I couldn't figure out what I was doing wrong on there. Okay, so Grand Rising, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, YouTube. Okay. Grand Rising is Grounded Dolphin. I was just coming on here to talk to y'all about some stuff that's been going on with me and how it could benefit you. What I have accomplished. So if any of y'all have been considering, okay, so on the picture of me doing this live, it should be telling y'all what I'm going to be talking about. I noticed that it's really difficult to do these lives on TikTok because people are constantly coming in every 5 seconds, so they're confused on what's going on. So just look at my picture, the cover picture or whatever, to show you that I'm live, and it'll tell you what I'm talking about. So I'm basically about to tell y'all how I set up my private church. um so for some of you who don't know me, I have been doing spiritual work since 2017. Me and my husband, we have traveled all over this country doing spirit work for people. We do, this might turn some people off. If it do, that's fine. I really don't care. But what we do is we go around the country and we do exorcisms and we do house clearings, neighborhood clearings. We clean energy to help the spirits that's there move on peacefully or be able to coexist peacefully without um interference from energies making it uncomfortable for you. So we do that. We give plant medicine ceremonies where some people call it psychedelics, but it's psychedelics to people who want to have fun. It's really plant medicine. These particular plants have been here for since the beginning of time, and it's been here to help us regulate and recalibrate our energy and how we vibrate. Okay. So, because I was doing this at such a large volume, I was advised to set up a church. And I had set up my church a few years ago. I got everything together, but it was some things that I did not do. And those things that I did not do then, I have accomplished now. So now I am legally set up as a legal church in the state of Colorado. And my specialty is plant medicine ceremonies. So the good thing about this, when you're a legalized church, um, how you conduct the business that goes on in your church is up to you. Okay. Church doesn't just mean Christian or Baptist or Catholic. It doesn't mean uh, Muslim or Buddhist. It doesn't just mean those things. Whatever type of idea you can come up with that connects to your spirit, right? What connects to your spirit? What makes you feel good um, when it comes to the spirit? So if you wanted to set a church up and literally all y'all did was do breath work, like that can literally be a church that you set up. You don't have to worry about having members of your church, because if you have a social media account and you have a certain amount of followers or whatever, you can also use that as being members of your church, because you are literally preaching to these people. Um, so it can be, you can set it up however you want. You can think about it however you want. For me, my main focus was never being stopped. I travel. I do what I do. Yeah, I mean, I gotta protect myself, but I do what I do, and it's more important to me that I'm doing it in your face. I prefer to be able to have all of my whatevers in front of the police or the agents or whatever, and know that they can't touch me. So that's what my goal was. Also, I do a lot of work with criminals or accused criminals, and I need to be able to get in and out of the prison without having to be a lawyer registered anywhere, but be able to get to these prisoners and talk to them um, whenever I feel like it. So for me, it's all business. My church is business. It's for me to get the medicine I need to get to my people to wake them up. And it's for me to get to my people when they're locked up. So that's why I set my church up. Now you could set yours up for whatever. You could actually set your church up because you actually want a damn church to do the whole worshiping these figures that you've been taught to love and worship. It could be anything that works for you. But what I want y'all to be really mindful of is the fact that having your church gives you space. It gives you room for freedom. It's so many questions that need to be asked. The latest one in the last year and a half, I might say this wrong, but I think it's called BOI. You gotta, when you have a business, you gotta report this, make a report in this filing or whatever. And it's new, and it's actually becoming an issue with a lot of entrepreneurs and small businesses. But if you moving everything through your church, um, you won't have those problems. So you need to understand the depth of you having a church and what that how that can benefit with you. You know how you, when you want to go apply for a car or a house or some kind of lease and they use your name. If you have your own church, you can do everything in the name of your church. You can mortgage a house, you can rent a house, you can get a car note or a lease using your church name, have everything in the church name. That way you will relieve yourself from being responsible or liable for certain things. Um, say, for instance, you have a member of your church driving one of the church vehicles. The church vehicle can't be taken from the person that's driving because it doesn't belong to that person. So it's all kinds of things that you could be doing um, to protect yourself by becoming a private church. And the reason why I say you should set it up as a 508c1a is because um, if you set it up as a 501c, I believe is what it's called, the 501c, it leaves the business open for um, the government to come in and do their little checks that they say they can do whenever they want. They can check your books, they can audit you, of course, and they can tell you who you should hire. If you have I'm not trying to be smart, but this is how I feel. If you don't like it, you can keep scrolling. If you have a business where all your focus is on the family, like literally male born, female born, and the male born and the female born have a child naturally. If you have a business that's a nonprofit and it focuses literally on the family unit, the government can come in and tell you you have to hire LGBTQTYXZ community members. You have to have them in your business. You have to hire a gay or lesbian person for your business. I am not interested in anybody telling me how to do anything that has anything to do with something that I created myself. It is that simple. So, where you will have a lot of people, or even the lawyers suggest that you do a 501c, I'm telling you, for me, that is just not something I'm interested in. So, I mean, you can choose. And you should know that this is a tax exempt entity. So that means tax exempt. So I'm gonna let you go ahead and do your research if you don't know what I mean by that. Okay. So if you're smart and you use your common sense, well, it's 508C1A. Okay, grateful. 508C1A, tax exempt. And that's what you should set your church up under. Now, you all can set your church up on you're welcome, baby. All of y'all can set your church up on your own. All of y'all can do exactly what I do and what I teach about on your own. You do not need me. You don't need my husband. You don't need any coach or teacher. You just take the information that you got and you go and research it. It's not everybody have this money to pay these people to get these services. And I'm not telling y'all that I want y'all to why is a place of worship being contracted as a business? Honey, everything in this country is a business. You are a business. The minute you open your legs to create life, that's a whole business right there. You just started a corporation. Everything is a business. Churches started from business. That's literally literally what they are. They're a business. That's why they want you to pay money into them. That's why I don't want to get into all that because I'd be on my soapbox about that. But it is a church is a business, honey. Everything we do is business. A court case is a business. School is a business. The hospital, it's a business. Okay. The military, like I don't know what else to say, but you're welcome. It's just important that y'all understand that all of this shit is business. That judge that's sitting on the bench that's telling you if you got 20 years to life in prison, that's a business. She getting a cut from that. All judges get a cut from sending you to jail. If you want to go visit somebody in jail and you are not their lawyer, as a church, as a clergy, priest, pastor, or minister of the church, you can go and visit these prisoners without the authority saying you don't have the right to be there. This example is my life. Y'all can use these services the way it will benefit you. Okay? Like I said from the beginning, I wake up and I go to sleep, and my ideas in my head is always to free the prisoners, the men and women of Aboriginal descent who have been incarcerated, whether it be wrongfully or rightfully incarcerated. I do not believe that it is the position of anybody outside of the Aboriginal community who can place any judgment on any of our people. That's where I'm at. That's why I set my own tribe up. That's why I set my own church up. I believe in the only authority that will ever be over me is the authority that I give myself. And I try to teach the people who subscribe to me. I hate saying follow me because that's weird shit. I don't like the way that sounds. But the people who subscribe to me, I try to lead them in a way where they are having self-awareness and they're learning who they are within self so that they will not be so easily manipulated into joining a gang. Me and my husband just had a whole conversation that turned into a very heated conversation last night about gangs. His religious belief system is not mine. He has always believed what he believes since we met when we were kids. I have never believed it at all. And I have made it very clear to him that I don't believe in his belief system or anyone else's. So when I tried to talk to him about um, his belief system, my husband is an Israelite, uh, and they believe in the Torah part of the Bible. And I want to make sure I say this, that I'm not being disrespectful to anybody's belief system. It's just how I believe in myself. Okay. The Israelites believe that if you they only take the Torah part of the Bible. I guess the Bible got so many parts to it, but even that in itself to me is laughable because you're telling me that this book, this Torah is such the truth that you got to live your life by it. But the other pages in this book is fraudulent. I cannot take any of these religions serious. I just can't. I think that everybody needs to go within, and that's why I focus on plant medicine. I push plant medicine. I focus on plant medicine. Spirit walking is the only truth you'll ever know. I can break it down as simple as this. I am about to tell my firstborn child a secret. I'm going to give my firstborn child permission to tell the rest of the siblings. All of the siblings. It's a total of 15 altogether. You can tell each one of them this secret. By the time it gets to the 10th child, there will be words added and there will be words that have been taken away. So that true secret, that true message has been corrupted. Now imagine a Bible that's been around for 1,000 years, retold over and over, reprinted over and over, added to and taken away. What is the truth? I cannot buy into any of that mess. Because if there's one part of it that is corrupted, then you cannot work with the rest of it because the message is broken and you don't have all the pieces. When you go into self through a spirit walk, you're only getting information of truth. There are no books, it's only memory. So you will remember what's the truth and what's not. When I went on my first spirit walk, I remembered everything, how religion was set up, their agenda, why they started the religion, who the true five families are that y'all keep saying that y'all really don't understand. I was able to see all of that. I was able to go towards the time of Toussaint. I was able to go to the time of medieval time when I was on the battlefield leading a regime of soldiers. I know almost damn near everything about my soul. There is no religion and no book that's going to tell me about my soul. Going under the plant medicine on my spirit walks, I was able to see my children and different life cycles and the ways that we were family. I was able to see a relationship I had with my dog that I traveled the world with, surveying the land. I was able to learn that Egypt is a punishment where y'all think that the sand that's in Egypt, these sandy places, you think they're, oh, that's beautiful, that's how the land is. No. The land that is at Egypt right now is not the true land of Egypt. The true land of Egypt is buried beneath the sand. The sand is a punishment because of their overuse of the energy that they built those pyramids on. The pyramids sit on top of a battery. Egypt pyramids, it's a battery that died. It is that simple. See, this information that I'm talking about is what I got from my Akashic records within, from being there, from being a part of the land, from knowing the land, and all of these entities that came from this place and that place trying to harness our energy and our resources. You're not going to get that truth from these books that they want y'all to make sure you buy these things for each holiday. It's foolish. So me setting up my church was so that my children had the truth. I have given all of my children vision quest. My kids have been on psychedelics since they were teenagers. They are very grounded, very in tune to the planet and the energies around the planet. So that's what was important to me. Now, if you guys want me to help you set up your nonprofit church as a 508c1A, I am offering that service if y'all want it. I do charge $2,500 and it will include everything that you need to set your church up. If you are interested in getting help from me, you can email me at groundeddolphin@gmail.com. Remember what I said. If you cannot afford me or anybody else that's trying to help, who will help you set up a church, like a lawyer or whatever, whoever y'all get to do that, you don't have to you don't have to pay everybody, okay? You can just study. Just study. Reading is fundamental. You could be reading and studying about how to set up your own private church and then learn something else on the way there that you can master. So this was just me coming on here to tell y'all about the best way to protect your money and your privacy is through a church setup. Okay? So look into that. And if y'all are interested in working with me, again, email me at groundeddolphin@gmail.com. I do not have a Telegram. I do not go by private citizen. If you are sending money, you better make sure you're sending it to me, the real me, and not somebody pretending to be me, because there are people out there pretending right now to be me. And they've been taking my subscribers' money for services. So I want y'all to be careful, okay? Be smart. Don't just give anybody your money. All my shit is the same always and all the time. As long as you send in your contact information to me through my email address at groundeddolphin@gmail.com, you are getting me or my husband. So it'll be either me or my husband that responds. Okay. So hold on, religion. Right. That's the point I was trying to make. So it was great talking to y'all. I have been so busy, but I try my best to put as many videos out as I can to help y'all out. Um, Good luck. Remember who you are, and contact me if y'all need me.